Hello there and welcome back to Bullets for Bucks. I hope you're enjoying the channel. My name is Steven Bresnaugh and today I got something really super cool for you guys. The Vortex HST versus the Sightmark Latitude. Okay, so obviously Vortex has a great reputation, has been around for many years and is making great scopes. I've had the Vortex HST for years without any significant issues. I have had the Latitude, granted only for a few weeks, but I've been testing it out quite a bit at the range and I've so far been really impressed by it. Both these scopes run in about the $600-700 range. And so I thought, man, let's do a kind of HST versus Latitude review. All right, so I know this angle's a little funky, but we'll make it work. First, you have the Vortex HST. If I compare that just side by side, and I can of course look up the spec, but it's more fun to just compare it in person. The Vortex HST is definitely about at least a ½ inch longer than the Sightmark Latitude scope. Now this Sightmark Latitude is the 10-40 by 60 rifle scope. So 10-40 variable power by 60 objective with a 34mm main tube. The Vortex HST, this one is a 6-24 power by 50 objective with a 30mm tube. I believe this scope has about 70 minutes of elevation, and this one has 110. Now, both have side parallax adjustment. Both have tactical turrets, both for windage and elevation. Both have a adjustable fast focus eyepiece. The Vortex is also lighter though than this Latitude. Okay, so Vortex longer, but a little bit lighter. Now, let's just start at basically the back of each scope. The eyepiece on this is really smooth and nice. I actually have it locked. So the eyepiece on this comes with, the fast focus eyepiece on this comes with a locking ring so you can lock it in place. The fast focus eyepiece on the Vortex does not come with a lock and does not lock in place. They both work very well and are smooth and fluid to adjust, but this one locks. So right there, better. Coming forward to the eye box. The eye box on this is clearly bigger than the eye box on the Vortex. So this actually has more, the Sightmark has more eye relief than the Vortex. Then coming forward, you have the magnification ring. And this magnification ring is very smooth, very fluid, yet stiff enough not to move in the field. I like that it doesn't take a huge amount of rotation to go all the way from 10-40. The Vortex has just kind of a rough, really grimy, gritty, cheaper feeling magnification ring. So far, everything doing a little bit better on the Latitude. Coming forward, like I said, this Vortex has a 30mm tube and the Sightmark has a 34mm tube. So basically what that means is it allows for sort of a more accurate adjustment, generally speaking, because it allows for a better erector set in it. But the main thing is it allows this scope to be 110 minutes of elevation, 70 minutes of windage, and the Vortex only has like 70 minutes of elevation. So way more minutes of elevation in the Sightmark Latitude than in the Vortex, which if you're shooting ELR or very long range becomes extremely important. Also, the field of view on the Sightmark is better at lower magnification than on the Vortex. Coming forward, you have the 50mm objective on the Vortex and the 60mm objective on the Sightmark Latitude. So basically, it takes in more light, it's got a bigger field of view, and it's just a better scope. Now you might be saying, okay, that's a Sightmark Latitude 10-40 by 60. Of course, it's going to have more of that because it's a higher magnification scope. Yes, but they do make a PRS that's, I believe, 4.5 or 5.5 to 25 variable power magnification with a 56 millimeter objective, and that scope also retails right around $600-700. So in the price point of this, and it comes in with all the features with the locking eyepiece. It comes in with more elevation in the turret than the Vortex, and so it's up to you what you decide. Both have really, really good warranties, but just let's take a look at the turrets themselves now. So here you have nice side parallax, nice and smooth. Goes up from 50 up to, let's see, 500, then infinity. And on this you have, goes all the way from 20 to 500 and then infinity. So more parallax adjustment in the Latitude. Win there. Then you come over to the illumination. Oh wait, Vortex doesn't have the illumination. Oh, can't compare that. So once again, Latitude has illumination and Vortex does not. Then coming down to the turrets themselves, let's do a little elevation with the Sightmark and just kind of feel and listen. Okay, really nice tactile turrets, nice and audible, tiny bit of wiggle. So there is a tiny bit of wiggle in the turret right there, but they line up nicely. And on the scope body, it tells you how many revolutions. So it's marked 5, 3, 2, 1, or excuse me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see how many revolutions you've gone down or up on both the on both the elevation and on the windage. Now, Vortex also has markings that show each revolution. So yeah, equal, fair game there. Now, let's turn this one. By the way, this is a custom Ken Industries BDC turret, so it's a little tiny bit different. It doesn't make any difference in the slop or the clicks or the tactileness of it, but it's just a little different design. Okay, so yeah, these are more tactile. But yeah, I would say this is the Vortex is a little bit more tactile. I don't like the sound of the Vortex as much as the Latitude, but really both great turrets. Nothing to complain about there. Now let's look for slop. Okay, slightly more slop in the Sightmark Latitude, but both, man, really, really close. On the Sightmark Latitude, you have 8 minutes of elevation per revolution. Now, this has 110 minutes of adjustment, so way more than the Vortex. However, it actually has less per revolution, even though it's a bigger turret. The Vortex has 12 per full revolution. So I would say equal on the turrets, basically, except for this has way more elevation, which is far better. Now let's look at zero stop. Okay, the zero stop on the Sightmark is a very simplistic ring with locking set screws. So you just set your zero, bring it up, lock it in place. I really like that design. It's so bulletproof and simple. This one has basically shim washers or shims that go inside the turret, and it's a mushy zero stop. And I've actually had a shim catch, and that allowed me to adjust back down to zero after shooting long range. So the zero stop on the Latitude, I would say, is just much better, in my opinion. Never mind this ridiculous Picatinny rail on top of a 20 MOA rail. So this Picatinny mount is on top of this 20 MOA rail because I want 40 minutes of elevation in the mount, because I'm planning on taking this rifle to a mile or beyond. And so I wanted as much as I could get, and I had this Picatinny rail that's 20 minutes built into it, and it worked, and it was cheaper than me going out and buying another scope base with more elevation in it. Of course, both scopes are fully waterproof, blah, 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 shockproof, and, you know, fully multi-coated, so on and so forth. The glass on the Sightmark is better. I've looked through both many, many times, and the glass is simply better on the Sightmark. I do like the reticle on the Vortex slightly more than on the PRS version of the Sightmark. This is the bench rest version, so you can't really compare reticles because it's not made for the same purpose. That being said, if I was to do it all over again, I would buy the Latitude, not the Vortex. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that comparison. If I was to do it all over again, I would buy the Sightmark PRS over the Vortex HST. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe and leave me a comment below. I know a lot of this is kind of personal preferences, but when it comes to these scopes, I would have to say the Latitude far beats the Vortex when it comes to what you get feature-wise for your money and the quality of glass.